Today, we're diving into one of the most important documents in electronics manufacturing. Now, it's not the flashy schematic, it's not the cool-looking circuit board layout, but it is the one thing that turns a great idea into a real physical product. We're talking about the bill of materials. So just imagine for a second, you've poured weeks, maybe even months into your design. The schematic is perfect, the PCB layout is basically a piece of art. You have created the digital soul of the next game-changing electronic device. But here's the big question, right? How do you actually get from that brilliant idea on your computer screen to something you can hold in your hand, something a factory can build, not just one, but thousands of them, perfectly, every single time? Well, that bridge is the bill of materials, or what everyone just calls the BOM. The best way to think about it, it's the master recipe for your device. It lists out every single tiny ingredient you need to bring your creation to life.
Okay, so what is it officially? A BOM is a complete, structured list of all the components and materials required to build a product. It's your definitive shopping list and your assembly guide all rolled into one super important document.
And let's just be totally clear about how important this is. No BOM means no production. It really is that simple. Without this document, your design is just a drawing. It's just an idea. So what's actually in this master recipe? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the anatomy of a BOM. We're going to break down the essential columns that you'll find in any professional parts list. First up, you've got the reference designator, or RefDes for short. Think of this like the street address for each component. It tells the assembly machine and any human technicians exactly where on the printed circuit board each part belongs. So for instance, when you see something like R1, C5, or U2 on the list, you know you're talking about one specific resistor, one specific capacitor, and one specific chip at a totally unique spot on that board. It gets rid of all the guesswork. Next up, and listen, if the ref des is the where, the MPN is the what. And this is hands down the most critical column in the entire document. It's the exact, unique, universal ID for that component. You see, just writing 10K resistor isn't nearly good enough. Why? Well, that MPN doesn't just say it's a 10K resistor. It specifies the exact manufacturer, the power rating, the temperature range, the tolerance, and that last one is huge. Using a cheap resistor with 5% tolerance when your design needs a super precise 1% version, that could be the difference between a product that works and a product that fails. The MPN is your guarantee you get it right every single time. Of course, there are a few other vital columns. Quantity is straightforward. How many do you need? The description gives you a quick, human-readable summary, 10K ohm resistor. And the package or footprint, that tells you the physical size and shape, making sure the puzzle piece actually fits in its designated spot on the board. Okay, so we know what's in a BOM, but let's zoom out for a second and really talk about why this document is so critical. It's not just a parts list, it's the absolute hub of the entire manufacturing operation. Think about it like this. The schematic tells you how the circuit works. That's the brains, the logic. The PCB layout shows you where the components physically go. But the BOM is what tells you what to buy and what to actually build with. It's the crucial link between the logical design and the physical reality. You can see exactly where it fits in the workflow. You create your schematic, you design your board layout, and then you generate the BOM. It is the final essential piece of the design puzzle right before you hand everything over to the factory. And it's such a critical communication tool. I mean, look at all the people who rely on it. The design engineers create it, the procurement team uses it to order all the parts, cost estimation depends on it, the assembly factory lives and dies by it. It is the single source of truth that every single team involved refers back to. All right, so now we know why it's so important. Let's talk about how to get it right. We're going to go through the most common mistakes people make and then cover the pro tips that will help make sure your production run goes off without a hitch. These are the classic landmines. Things like completely forgetting a component, getting a value wrong, or, you guessed it, forgetting that super important MPN. Oh, and here's a big one that catches so many people. Specifying a part that's impossible to buy because it's out of stock or totally obsolete. So how do you dodge those bullets? Well, here are the best practices. Always, always include a specific MPN for every single part. Double check your values against the schematic. And this is key. Verify that your parts are actually available from suppliers before you finalize your design. And hey, just keep the document clean and organized. It makes everyone's job so much easier. And believe me, the stakes here are really high. A bad BOM, it's going to cause production delays, it's going to increase your costs, and it can even lead to product failures out in the real world. But a good, clean, accurate BOM, that leads to faster production, smooth manufacturing, and ultimately a reliable product that people can actually count on. So, what's the big takeaway here? The bill of materials is not just some list you throw together at the very end. It is a critical engineering document, and it's every bit as important as the schematic itself. So the next time you finish a design, ask yourself this: is your bill of materials just a list, or is it a true blueprint ready to go out there and build the future? Thanks for watching.